This is Haystack Help Radio on KLZ 560. Haystack Help Radio is powered by HaystackHelp.com. Finding help can be like finding a needle in a haystack. But with HaystackHelp.com, finding the needle just got easier. Now, Haystack Help Radio with Scott Watley on KLZ 560.
And good afternoon, everybody. Dan Muir in for the vacationing Scott Watley. Welcome to Haystack Help Radio. Today, it's Your Money Matters with Kurt Rogers and Affordable Interest Mortgage. And, of course, you can always go to aimortgage.net or give Kurt a call at 720-895-0500. Kurt, how you doing, man?
I am doing just wonderful. You know, you look outside and you see this Colorado weather and you're like, is there any other place to live?
Nowhere. Nowhere else.
You know, I was talking with some people this morning, and they were talking about how much they love Chicago. And I said, well, what about, you know, the winters that never get above zero? They said, well, you get used to it.
No, you don't.
Never. No, you don't.
Never, ever. I'm from Minneapolis. I know you do not get used to it.
They say the people back there are tougher. I'm not saying you're not tough.
They're tough.
But there's no reason to put yourself through that.
No, they're a lot tougher. I've totally wimped out since I've moved here, too, because now all of a sudden, like, 45 degrees is cold.
Yeah.
You know, back there, that's T-shirt weather.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy.
Sandal shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Here it's sandal shorts and a sweatshirt.
Yeah, or a parka. Oh, my gosh, my blood's thinned out. And also joining us today is Greg Lackey, and he is an insurance advisor with Accelerated Insurance Group. Greg, how you doing?
Doing well, Dan. Thank you.
It's great to have you back. You know, we're going to be talking about health care, Obamacare, the Republican plan, the executive order. What a mess. So, Greg, you're in the insurance industry, and let's just talk just a second about the changes you've seen since you've been in it, and we've all been consumers. Now, I remember back when I got hired back in 2005 by a company. I could afford health insurance, but had a maternity rider. My premiums were decent, my deductibles were decent, and I was making $12 an hour, and I could afford it.
Yeah, I think the only thing that makes sense right now is maybe change the name from Affordable to the Unaffordable Care Act, and
We're
then
pretty close.
they'd be onto something.
Well, that's a fact. Definitely the Unaffordable Care Act. And if you want to join the conversation, 303-477-5600, or you can always text us at 307-200-8222.
We're going to try to take the next hour and cover some of the basic things that have changed. ACH or Obamacare is not working for a lot. For some folks it is, for others it's not. Our current president has decided to go in there, and as some people will tell you, they will say he has sabotaged Obamacare. My first question to you as we get into this, is that true?
No, it's not true. I mean, Obamacare the prices of this thing were going off the charts ever since 2014. So I think we got to remember he's only been in the office now coming up on a year. You know, some of the things he did with his executive order, I think, is we've talked so often on this show.
Yes.
How else were you going to get the attention of Congress in the Senate? And I'm not talking about just the Republicans, because it affects the Democrats also. How are you going to get their attention on we need to do something, and we need to do something now? So I think what he did more than anything was just send a shot over the bow and said, listen, these, you know, the cost share was something that was an executive order that was put in by President Obama.
And that was on the subsidies.
Well, it was on cost share,
right,
not subsidies. Subsidies had gone through Congress. It had followed the appropriate channel.
Correct.
Cost share had never followed the appropriate channel. So all he did was he shifted that to Congress and said, hey, you have to address this. Because if you're going to provide funds, Congress has to decide.
They have to approve it, and they never did approve it.
And they never did do that.
So he just kind of like pulled the rug out from underneath it. Same thing as DACA. He basically said, okay, this is not, even Obama had said on DACA that it's not a law. It can't last. It won't work. We have to fix it. He just pulls it out and said, okay, now I'm giving you 6 months.
I think where everyone got confused or has become confused, first of all, they're not very well educated on civics. Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, but the other thing of it is, too, is they throw out these terms that all sound alike. And they're trying to, you know, especially the media and the Democrats, they're trying to instill this panic into the public that all of a sudden, boy, look at evil Trump comes in. Now you're not going to be able to afford any health insurance whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's the picture they're trying to paint, even though that's not the truth.
Well, again, let's talk about cost share.
Okay.
And what that means. if you fell below 250% of the federal poverty level, okay, you are not only eligible for a subsidy to buy your health insurance, you are also eligible for a lower deductible, lower copays. But that was only on silver plans. Wasn't offered on bronze plans, wasn't offered on gold plans. You had to buy a silver plan if you wanted a reduced deductible and copays. I saw an article the other day where they said, well, now what people are going to do, this is going to have a reverse effect. They're going to buy a bronze plan for nothing. Well, people were doing that anyway, because if you were looking at a silver plan and you had the option of a lower deductible and you weren't using your health insurance, you could move to a bronze plan with the money that was being allocated through the subsidy and maybe pay $1 for your health insurance. And we have plenty of people who have done that.
They've found a way around
They said, I don't care about the lower deductible. I don't care about copays. I know that I'm eligible for that, but I'll just go ahead and take this bronze plan because it gets me out of the penalty.
Right.
And I'll pay $1. So I've read stuff where people are saying, well, this is going to have a reverse effect. It already has.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And it's because, again, to your point, Dan, the wording on all this becomes very confusing.
No, it is very confusing. And I want to go back to the other thing, too, is how do you sabotage, this is from the left, from some of how do you sabotage a sinking ship? That's why Obamacare was designed to fail. It is failing. So how in the world can you say, well, they're sabotaging Obamacare when it's a sinking ship to begin with? How do you do that? How do you sabotage a sinking ship?
Well, I think I sent you some reading material there from eHealth in 2014. And I'll let you go ahead and read.
Well,
that.
I find this absolutely fascinating. Okay, so this is from eHealth. Average family premiums right now is $1,021 per month for a family not receiving subsidies in the first, well, this is for the first 2 months of the 2017 open enrollment period. In 2013, the year before major Obamacare provisions came into effect, the average family's premiums was $426 per month. Now, that's an average increase of 140%.
And that's 2017.
That's 2000. What's it going to be
That's
next
not
year?
what's coming, because our prices just went up.
Our prices just went up in 2018. On average, and we've talked about this, that when the insurance companies filed their rates, they filed two sets of rates. One was with a 27% increase, and then the other was if President Trump went ahead and reduced the cost share. In other words, he wasn't going to make those dollars available to the insurance companies. So on average, the insurance companies had the ability, on top of that 27%, to go another 6%. So if you want to say that he's responsible for something, yes, you can blame him for that 6% increase, and you are correct.
Right. Yeah, right.
But let's talk about the 140% increase, plus another 27% increase in 2018. Who was responsible for that?
Yeah.
This was a sinking ship. He put it in front of the Congress, and he put it in front of the Senate. Congress got something through, went to the Senate. Senate could never get together on what it was they wanted to do. And again, Kurt, I get back. We've been on this show often,
lots of times talking strictly about this.
And strictly about this. And I said all along that if he's going to get their attention, he just needs to withdraw some of the funding.
And he did.
And he did. Because now he holds the cards.
Yeah.
Because now it goes back to the Congress, okay?
Which is where it's supposed to be to fix it.
Right. And so now you hear our governor here, you hear all of these, all of a sudden now we got people coming to the table saying, well, I've got this idea and I've got that idea. Well, he can sit there and veto any of their ideas.
Yeah, and pretty much all the ideas I've seen so far are just Band-Aids to fix the current Obamacare system and just prolong the death of it anyway. Because this whole thing, once again, is designed to fail. It cannot. How can anything sustain 140% price increase over was that 4 or 6 years, roughly? You can't. It's not sustainable.
I find, and this just kind of goes along with what President Trump has done. You have or politicians in the state, i.e. Bennett, all of a sudden says, well, it did have problems, and here's my solution. Why did you wait 8 years? Why are you folks all of a sudden now saying, okay, yeah, it had problems, let's try to fix it this way, but they don't agree with what he's done? He has forced them to figure out how to do something, whether you like the way he's done it. I don't necessarily sometimes like, but he's forcing this to be fixed because you talk here about average premium of $1,021. You're about $900 short for my wife and I. And it just went up 27%. So at what point do we just say we can't deal with it anymore, like a lot of people? And you keep kicking this can down the road, it will implode.
Well, if they got rid of the subsidies on this whole thing, the average middle-class family could not afford to have health insurance.
No.
Period. Because you can't afford 2 mortgages. Kurt, this is almost a mortgage.
Well, we talked the last time you were on the show about 3 weeks ago about a lady that what she pays before the insurance company kicks in for a family of 4, I think was close to $42,000 with her deductible and her monthly.
Yeah, her combined spend, because she will hit those deductibles as a result of having a child
Right.
that has need. They will, as a family. Now, again, I'm talking total amount of premium paid plus their share of the deductible will be right around $42,000.
$42,000, and that's net income. So what do you got to gross to make that? 60?
Yeah, and again, I've always kind of, I've always wondered what the term middle class actually means. I would like because I think that it's got a broad definition. But you take a family of 4 that is over 100,000. They're paying full price.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
or they're doing something else.
They're paying full price, or they're doing something else. And we've had people that have taken early retirement that are on a fixed income, and I've talked to them a lot about. Let's say you're hovering around 70,000 in income for the year. You've taken early retirement. You're 61, 62 years old. I've told them, hey, listen, think about a health savings account. Make a full contribution to the health savings account, because that's going to reduce your income from
Right.
70,000 below the 65,000 threshold, and then the state's going to give you about $8,000 in subsidy money because now you're below 65,000. Now, I'm not saying I agree with that, but that's
the system.
That's the system.
That's where we're at. I mean, I'm on the subsidy. Do you think I want to be a ward of the state? No way. But the other thing of it is, do you think I want to go broke the next time somebody gets sick?
You have no choice.
I have no choice.
And that's where these people that are right over that subsidy level, they're better off going into their boss and saying, either you got to give me about a $20,000 raise,
Good luck with that.
or reduce my salary.
Right.
Yeah, you're on.
Because
that.
I'm just giving the money away. I
Because
lose.
otherwise, I'm losing here. I'm better off getting below these levels.
Even though I make more, I take home less.
Exactly.
Which, quite frankly, is exactly what the designers of Obamacare had in mind.
One payer system.
Yeah, because that's what
And we're
they
going to
wanted
talk about that in the
fall
next
into, one-payer
quarter.
system.
But before we get there, a question about enrollment. Enrollment starts November 1st, correct?
We think.
We think. That's what we believe.
Well,
this sounds like a government
Because
program
I heard
to me.
that they said Trump has made that short of it.
well, it does start November 1, so I don't want to confuse anyone out there.
Right.
However, I have not seen rates. I have not seen plans.
Oh, I've seen rates. At least for us.
Well,
Yeah, you see 'em
again,
go up.
well, you saw the first set of rates.
Yes, I haven't
There's
seen the
another
second
6% coming. Like, for example, Kaiser originally, I think they came out with like a 26% increase. They're now at 34. That letter will be coming out shortly as a result of, again, on with Trump's executive order. So you're going to see another letter here soon.
See, gang, this is what happens when you put the government in charge of roughly 1/3 of our economy. It screws everything up. Anytime the government puts their hands into something, it just messes it up. No question about it. When you go back historically, I mean, the whole reason that we have the healthcare mess that we have is because of wage and price controls back in the 40s. That's this whole mess. It all started back then. And then you come up with the mandates throughout the 80s and the 90s, and they just keep meddling and screwing everything up. Okay, so you're listening to Haystack Help Radio. This is Your Money Matters, brought to you by Kurt Rogers and Affordable Interest Mortgage. You can go to aimortgage.net or 720-895-0500. Damn, you are in for Scott Wiley. We'll be right back.
What could you do with an extra $500, $1,000, or even $1,500 per month? How would that change things for you? Would you buy a new car, pay off bills, or just feel a bit more secure about your retirement? What if I told you there's a way to make your dreams a reality? I'm talking about trading and investing in the market. Now, before you say, oh, that's not for me, just hear me out. I want to invite you to a half-day trading course so you can check this out. I promise you, you'll go away smarter than when you came in. We here at Online Trading Academy sponsor this, and we'll even send you home with a free home study video guide. Your money's doing nothing for you in a CD or mutual fund. Learn how to profit when the market's up or down. Call us now while seats are still available at 303-325-2776. Use offer code radio50. 303-325-2776. That's 303-325-2776.
Affordable Interest Mortgage still has rates in the mid-threes. Do that upgrade that you've been putting off, or pay off that high interest rate debt, or just get ready for the holidays. Purchase your next home with only 2% down and no mortgage insurance. Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. We all know rates are going to go up, so why keep putting it off when you can borrow money in the threes? Do you know paying mortgage insurance is like adding 1.5% to your current rate without the tax deduction? Why? Take AIM, 720-895-0500. Call now and find out how to pay off your home faster, save over $100,000 in excess interest that you get to keep, all without changing one penny of your spending habits. Take AIM, 720-895-0500. VA loans to 100% with cash out in the low threes. We've been serving Colorado since 2001. Where it's all about you is not just our motto, it's who we are. Get the respect you deserve. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. NMLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender.
Don't fall for gimmick ads when choosing your insurance coverage. Group Insurance Analyst has been Colorado's insurance superstore since 1984, where customers can compare and shop for all of their insurance needs. At GIA Insurance, their brokers have no allegiance to any particular health, auto, or home insurance company. Take advantage of their experience, expertise, and exceptional client service. For your free quote, call today at 303-423-0162. That's 303-423-0162. Visit their website, e-gia.com, or stop by their office at 44th and Garrison Street in Wheat Ridge. Group Insurance Analyst is an official Haystack Help registered company.
Tired of walking into gun stores and seeing the same guns everywhere you go? Check out our sponsor, Old Steel Historical Firearms. Hi, this is Scott Watley of Sportsman of Colorado. At Old Steel, they specialize in the purchase and sale of historical firearms. Need to get your firearm collection appraised? They can help. Buy, sell, trade, and consignments are welcome at Old Steel. Open 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday. Old Steel Historical Firearms is located at 12 East Girard Avenue in Inglewood. That's just 2 blocks north of Hamden off Broadway. Now you can own a piece of history at Old Steel Historical Firearms. Call 720-662-7252. That's 720-662-7252. Check out their website, oldsteelguns.com.
Hi, Dan Johnson with Len Lau Chevrolet. We have rows and rows and rows of reconditioned pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Heck, over 200. We can finance anyone, and we have used car rates starting in the 2s. Len Lau Chevrolet, I-225 in East Colfax, or on the web at lenlauchevy.com.
Rush to Reason with John Rush. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KLZ 560.
And welcome back to Haystack Help Radio. Dan Muir in for Scott Watley. If you don't know me, I am the co-host of Rush to Reason, and you can catch John Rush and me every weekday afternoon from 3 to 7 right here on KLZ 560. You're listening to Your Money Matters, brought to you by Kurt Rogers and Affordable Interest Mortgage. And our guest is Greg Lackey. And Greg is with, I just lost the page. I just had it right here. Doggone it. Greg, who you with?
Well, you can go to our website at designhealth.com. Or you can give me a call at 303-625-9538.
I still can't find it. I had it right here.
Okay, we'll give you a few minutes.
Yeah, just everybody stand by. No, I don't know what happened to it. But so we're talking about Obamacare, the changes that Trump has made with the executive order, some of the fixes that some of the politicians are trying to do. But the main thing of it is that they have really screwed up healthcare, or actually paying for healthcare in this country. I mean, the healthcare is still the best in the world. I mean, you're going to get things cured. You're going to, we still have the best healthcare in the world, but we've totally screwed up the system in which we pay for it.
And Kurt, there's a difference between insurance
and health care, which brings up the point. While the prices have gone up, some of that blame, some of the cost is because the rising cost in the care that people are charging. The pharmaceutical companies. There's different costs that continue to rise, and you see it all the time to where they'll say, okay, we're going to charge you $1,000 if you pay cash, but if it's an insurance bill, we're going to charge you $2,800. So the cost keeps going up, even though it's the same. Somebody goes in for, let's say, a broken foot to one of these care facilities. It might be a $1,000 bill because they say, I have no insurance. But the next person comes in, now it's $2,800 for the same basic care.
Well, the provider is going to get as much money as they can out of
and they know where the money's coming from, because you talk about that these providers aren't making money. Yeah, I don't think so.
We got a lot of new buildings.
There's a lot of new buildings.
And they know that the money's coming from the government.
Yeah, I think it's easy to point fingers in this whole thing.
Yes.
And when they, when I hear people start doing that, I think it's just distracting from the real debate, and that is how we're going to control this. Again.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The real debate is who's responsible for your health care.
Exactly.
Is it you or is it the government?
And if you read, our governor's statement, he starts off, his first sentence is, it's a right. It's a right. That's how he looks at it. Now, you can have that debate. I'm not going to say you're right or you're wrong.
That's a debate.
That's a debate. Is it a right? And if it's a right, then I'm not so certain that telling the insurance companies that you have to have these certain benefits in every health plan, plus you have to accept everybody, plus they can buy an insurance plan whenever, at these open enrollment periods, or if you have a special event that allows you to jump in. There's no way the insurance companies can protect themselves.
No.
They're no longer an insurance company. I don't know how often I've said that.
It's not a private business any longer.
No. And so then I hear the debate to the mandated benefits is saying, well, before you had crummy insurance. You just had crummy insurance plan. I didn't think my insurance was crummy because I bought what I wanted to pay for.
That's exactly right. If you're going the other way, it's kind of like going to VA. If the government's going to take care of health care, that's what they do for the veterans. What kind of job have they done for them?
Lousy.
Well, again, I sent you another article there about the VA here locally, and if you want to know what a one-payer system looks like, I mean, look at the shortage of anesthesiologists right now over at the VA.
Right.
Big article in the Denver Post about the shortage. Well, when you have a shortage, guess what you now have? You now have waits.
It's right here. Okay, VA waiting time in fiscal 2017 for surgery for established patients is 9.5 days. Longer than the national average of 5.8 days, according to the VA. It is 8.3 days at the Denver facility.
To get in.
Yeah.
Now, that might not sound like a lot, but they have it. Just getting into it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get any kind of care right away.
But
they're processing you.
Yeah, 3 days can be huge.
Depending upon what you're in there for.
Yeah.
Very huge.
Yeah, and again, we're looking at the VA that serves, our very best, in my opinion.
Right.
But again, we're just looking at a segment of what that looks like. Imagine if you combine everybody into that system, what that'll look like.
No.
Well, and we've talked about this on past shows. Colorado looked to try to go to a one-payer system last year. Pretty well got voted down a couple of years ago. But there was a state, I think it was Connecticut, or was it New Jersey? That actually went to the one-payer system for the state.
Yeah, I think it was might have been Massachusetts or someone moved to that, and quickly aborted from that, and again, this thing's been put to vote for a one-payer system in this state last year, Nevada here recently, and
when you put the numbers to it,
it doesn't work.
Your budget doesn't exceed what the cost for just that one-payer system is.
If you look at the anesthesiologist there, as Dan is carefully reading, they're offering $400,000.
Yeah. So a shortage of anesthesiologists at Denver's Veteran Hospital, despite salary offers reaching as high as $400,000 a year, has forced a delay in dozens of surgeries just months after the institution was tagged with some of the nation's worst waiting lists for care.
So let's just take that example right there. Well, you've got an insurance plan.
Right.
But guess what you don't have? You don't have an anesthesiologist.
Have no care. There's the care.
So it's just like use Canada as the example. Back in the day, back in the, early 90s, I was selling microfilm services. So this is way before imaging hadn't come across yet. So I saw microfilm services in Minnesota, Wisconsin. And so I went up to St. Mary's Duluth. It's a big hospital up in Duluth, Minnesota. First of all, why is there such a huge hospital in this small town of Duluth? Because Duluth isn't really that big, right? So I go in there, I drive into the parking lot, and I was astonished because 90% of the license plates were Canadian. So they've got the free health care, but what did they have to do? They had to come to the United States and pay for health care here because they can't get it. Because
the time frame it takes to get the health care.
They could literally not get the care they needed in the time in which they needed it. So not only are they paying the high taxes up in Canada, for their health insurance, but to get real health care, they had to drive across the border and come here and pay for it.
You could also argue, too, if you ever, go and look at neurosurgeons and, some of our very best, see if they're from the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why surgeons come to the U.S., and it's because it's a free market. They want to make money. And I don't blame them.
Just like anybody else.
They want to make money, and they want to be paid for their talents.
Right.
But also look what free markets can do to the cost of things. Look at LASIK, for example. LASIK used to be right around $2,000 an eye. Now I've been hearing ads where you can get LASIK done for $250 an eye.
Well, look at
there's no insurance involved. The government's not involved. It's the free market. Now there's enough providers out there where you can basically go in and get this thing cheaper and you can buy glasses.
Look at dentists. They've moved mostly to a cash pay system.
Oh, yes. Most definitely.
Your dental insurance anymore. I sometimes wonder, again, depending upon how you are receiving that insurance, the benefits on that versus the premiums.
Well, my dentist office, and I've been going there for quite a few years, about 2 years ago, they came out with it's like a Costco card. It's
their own system.
It's a card that if I pay them X, I get all this kind of work. So they're becoming competitive because the insurance companies aren't paying for it.
Think about that business model from their side of things. They're collecting the dollars up front versus at the time of service, then going to the insurance company and billing, and now they're on the hook for 60 or 90 days before they get paid. So you tell me which one's
cash
better.
flow.
Cash flow. Yeah. This is really simple economics, and as I read material written by people, I'm like, first of all, you must have never taken civics in school, and secondly, you must have missed the economic class.
Well, first of all, they don't teach civics in school anymore.
I don't know.
And, they don't. They really, really don't. You guys are a little bit older than me. Just not much, but just a little bit. Kurt, just day or two.
Thank you.
So, but when I was going through school, we had one semester of civics in high school. That was it. One semester, and I graduated in 1985. So that tells you that today they're really not teaching it. And whatever they are teaching, they're probably teaching that communism's a good thing. So that's probably, I'm just speculating, but I think I'm right.
I think another common theme that I see so often in anything written and talked about anymore is that government is the solution.
No.
Government's got to fix this, and in my opinion, when you start involving government, we
can thank the Clinton years for that.
Yeah.
I think it even goes deeper than that. They have this belief that, like the one politician said, it's a right to have this, or governor. No, it's your choice to have that. The government doesn't take care of me, because if the government starts taking care of me, then they're telling me where I can eat, what I can eat, where I can live, what I can afford, what I can, and how much of what I make I have to give to them. It's not the government's role. That's not how this country was designed and built.
Right, Kurt. Not yet, anyway. Okay, you're listening to Haystack Help Radio. This is Your Money Matters. I'm Dan Muir in for Scott Wiley. Our guest is Greg Lackey. He is with Accelerated Insurance Group. You can find him by going to designhealth.com, 303-625-9538. We'll be right back after this.
Are you buying your first home? Or are you right-sizing or downsizing for lower maintenance or a lock-and-leave lifestyle? This is Pamela Meyer of Denver Home Navigators with Keller Williams. I can help you discover and reach those goals. This is more than just real estate. It's about your life and your dreams. Call me today for your free consultation at 303-506-0106. At Denver Home Navigators, we help map your course. It's all about you. Call me now at 303-506-0106 or visit my website at denverhomenavigators.com. I'm Pamela Meyer, the exclusive agent for Haystack Help Radio, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Did you know that each and every day, 21 United States veterans commit suicide? Last year, active duty suicides surpassed the number of combat deaths. When soldiers come home, it is a huge adjustment, and they're often plagued with disabilities, such as immobility, PTSD, or a traumatic brain injury. You can help by donating to Freedom Service Dogs. This nonprofit rescues dogs from local shelters and trains them to become service dogs for these heroes. Help give back to those who have given so much. Donate now at freedomservicedogs.org.
At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we believe that all pets deserve to have a good life. And because we know that your pet will have many different needs throughout its life, we offer complete pet care services every day, all at one location. Whether your furry friend needs a checkup, advanced medical care, surgery, boarding, grooming, obedience training, food, care products, or toys, we are here for your pet 7 days a week. At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we know that you want the very best for your pet, which is why you can count on us to provide top-notch care in everything we do. We are certified with the highest rankings by the American Animal Hospital Association and hold a gold star rating with the Better Business Bureau. You and your pet can visit us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are located at 8681 East Lincoln Avenue in Lone Tree. Learn more about us by visiting our website at lonetreevet.com or just give us a call at 303-708-8050.
This is Scott Watley for my friends at Rampart Firearms in Sedalia. This is a great store, family owned and operated. They buy, sell, trade, and consign firearms. You will find a great selection of new and pre-owned handguns, shotguns, and rifles. If you can't find the gun you want, Rampart Firearms will special order your gun at no extra cost. Found a gun on the internet? Rampart Firearms will do one firearm transfer and the background check for only $10 if you mention Sportsman of Colorado. Rampart Firearms, 720-468-0050. That's 720-468-0050. Located at Highway 67 in Santa Fe in Sedalia. Rampart Firearms opens 7 days a week. 720-468-0050.
Got a question for the station? Email info@crawfordbroadcasting.com. Now back to Haystack Help Radio.
And welcome back, everybody, to Haystack Help Radio. Damn, you are in for the vacationing Scott Watley. If you don't know me, I'm the co-host of Rush to Reason. You can catch John Rush and me every weekday afternoon from 3 to 7 right here on KLZ 560, where this is Your Money Matters, brought to you by Affordable Interest Mortgage and Kurt Rogers. You can get a hold of Kurt at 720-895-0500 or go to aimortgage.net. Our guest is Greg Lackey, and he's with Design Health. You can find out more about Greg Lackey by going to designhealth.com or give him a call at 303-625-9538. We are talking about Obamacare, healthcare, the mess we are all in.
And what President Trump has done to kind of get them moving.
Yeah, and he had to get it moving because the Senate wasn't going to do anything. So he went through and picked out, quite frankly, the unconstitutional things that Barack Obama had just done, either through executive order or just through administrative, through the administration, and blew them up, which is exactly what he needed to do.
Can we also let's clarify some facts here, okay? Because I see this often too. That this open enrollment period, which is only 45 days, was a result of President Trump sabotaging. No, it wasn't. that had been put in place several years ago. We were talking about it as an agency. Every year, the number of days available in open enrollment has decreased. So from a business standpoint, we've been trying to figure out, okay, it's almost like we're trying to get a pig through a garden hose.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, look at it. So anybody that doesn't have insurance either through the government or through their employer has to be run through these 45 days.
They have to be run through the 45 days. So we've been discussing this for several years. Now all of a sudden you read stuff, well, he's guilty of, no, he didn't do that.
Of course
that was already been done.
He's a big target.
That had already been put in place. And I'm not here to defend our president. I don't have a political stake in this. What I have is a concern for people. But I look at what he's trying to do. He's trying to force the people in the Congress and the Senate to do their job.
Right.
And they don't want to do it. What they want to do is continue to kick the can down the road, just like that bill that's in front of Congress right now about, well, let's go ahead and reappropriate the subsidies for cost share.
Right.
Okay? For 2 years. Well, what are we going to do after 2 years?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, people, we are at a breaking point right now.
Yes.
This thing's done. Now, either you do something about it or it will implode
and once again, cost share is that if you have a deductible, the government then picks up part of your deductible you're at a certain level on the poverty scale.
That's right. That's all
that comes out of our taxes and all the people that are paying the higher premiums.
This all
which Congress never approved.
When government gets involved in anything, where do you think the money comes from?
Well,
it comes from Kurt Rogers.
They just keep printing it. Actually,
Kurt, it comes out of your pocket.
Thank you.
It comes out of Charlie's pocket. Greg, it comes out of your pocket. It comes out of my pocket. The government doesn't have any money. They just steal it from us and then reappropriate it to wherever they think is best.
That's a very good point. I want to kind of go somewhere. When we run into these problems, as with history, we always find a way. It's kind of like water. As and you and I have talked many times, I can't afford to keep paying these higher premiums, so we look around. There are other ways, and one of those that we've talked about called MediShare. Explain to us, A, how it works and how it helps to where you don't have the penalties.
Well, it's basically a faith-based insurance company that offers an alternative to Obamacare at about 50% less premium. And those policies are medically underwritten. And it's going to become an option for many. And in the way I see it, again, the free market always finds a way. Okay? And so what MediShare has done, and by the way, there's several Christian-based health plans, sharing, so forth out there. MediShare is just one. I think, in fact, I was in a deal yesterday, and I think they said there's actually like a total of 60 out there. There's 6 that qualify for the exemption from the penalty. Okay?
Right.
And MediShare is one of those. So if you have a MediShare plan, you are exempt from the penalty.
Because it's medically underwritten?
Well, not because it's medically underwritten, because of prior to, and I think those companies had to be in place before 1999.
Mm-hmm.
There was some. They were
grandfathered in.
Yeah, there was some language in there where they were able to get in and be exempt from the ACA, be exempt from the mandates that all these other insurance plans
had to do.
So they've kind of snuck in under the radar, I guess you could say. But I can see where this is going to become very, very popular because people are seeking an alternative. And quite frankly, 2 years ago, I wasn't nearly as up to speed on them as I am today.
Well, that's because more people like myself are going. We just can't continue to afford
It's something that we offer at our place. And we're going to continue to talk about it because, again, my job, I work as a broker. So I don't work for an insurance company. My job is to bring solution to problems. And I look at Medishare and I'm like, it's a solution to the problem.
It can take, for example, healthy people like me, and it gives me an option of going over here instead of paying for insurance, i.e. pregnancy, stuff like I don't need, and I can come over here and pay for basically what I want. My question there would then be, do they have a network of doctors, or can I choose anybody? How does that work?
It's a PPO. It's a PPO.
Explain what a PPO is.
PPO means you have preferred providers. In other words, you no longer have to go through a gatekeeper. Take Kaiser as an example. They're an HMO. PPO means I can go directly to a specialist without having to get a referral from a general physician. They use the multi-plan network, which is broad throughout the U.S. A lot of doctors accept it. A lot.
And it doesn't matter where I'm at. If I'm traveling or not, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
No, so why is it just because people don't know about this is why they're not choosing it, or what are some of the
a lot of it is educating yourself on the product, because the language that they have to use is different than what insurance language is. So, and I really can't get into the specifics of it. You need to give me a call and I'd be more than happy to discuss it with you.
Okay, so is there much of a cost saving? Okay, family of four, me. Let's use me. Slightly less than $100,000 a year, family of four, healthy people. Can they get into this?
Absolutely.
And at what cost am I going to save any money?
If you're a family of four right now, I would say that you're probably looking at with an ACA plan, probably around $1,400, $1,500
a month.
A month.
Okay.
And with the Medishare, I'm going to say you're going to probably be around $500.
Wow, that brings it back down to 2013 levels.
It goes back to those prices that you were started off the show with for me, Hill.
Yeah, I'm looking at what you've sent me on the Medishare for me, and it cuts my bill by more than 50%.
Yeah. So then, what are you talking about for deductibles? I mean, we're still up in that $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 deductible range,
No, you can actually, and the word deductible is you won't see that. It's called a share.
Right.
So how does that work? What do you mean it's called a share?
You're going to pay up to a certain point before they're sharing in your bills.
Okay, so let's just, like an example, with the average, are you going to throw in a few $100s? You're going to throw in a few $1,000s before people start sharing? What's the approximate range?
You've got it sharing anywhere from, where you hit 2,500 up to 10,000.
Okay.
So you can kind of pick it and design it and so forth. But again, I have to be very careful in talking about it because of the language that needs to be used.
Right. So, I'm just trying to give people a general idea. Because right now, you got a family of four on the regular health insurance stuff. I mean, you're like $6,000, $7,000 or something like that in deductibles, after you've been paying $1,400 a month in premiums.
Correct. The other thing, too, though, again, you get back, and I'm not trying to shift off Medishare here, but the other thing is short-term plans. That's going to become another option.
Yes.
Yeah, because Trump opened those back up.
He opened, now, again, in Colorado, it's up to the DOI to determine how long they want to make those plans available. Those plans started out originally at 6 months, so you could be on them for 6 months, and then you could re-up for another 6 months.
Right. We talked about that.
Well, then what happened was the president at the time saw a loophole, so he took them to 3 months. Which means you could only go on them for 3 months, and then you would have another 3 months that you could re-up. Well, they also don't get you away from the penalty, and they also don't cover you for the entire year the way it was written. Now, what President Trump has come in and said, we're going to make them available for 364 days, but it will be up to the states to determine whether or not they want to follow what it is he's saying. But short-term plans are medically underwritten, and they also are very, very less in premium in comparison to the ACA. So people who might be uncomfortable with a Christian-based,
they have another alternative.
And that's where you'll hear, our politicians say, well, he is sabotaging, the ACA because he's making short-term plans now 364 days.
He's actually pushing pushing it back to us to let us make choices as to what we want to do with our health care.
You got it.
He really is, which is the whole, you get to keep your doctor. No, that's not working that way. And as with my wife, she's really angry. She had to get rid of her doctor because she really liked him. It sounds like under Medishare, she might be able to go back to them.
Very well could.
First question I had there before our next break, putting the money away.
Health savings accounts?
Health savings accounts.
Can you use that with Medishare?
You can use what you have already put into your health savings account. You cannot continue to contribute to the health savings account.
Okay, so if you want the Medishare, you can't have a health savings account. You can load it, but that's it.
Yeah, the other thing too is, if you are 1099, those premiums are no longer deductible. And there's some nuances in there too that needs more of a conversation than one we're having here.
But you get to pick any doctor you want. Do you have doctors that? I mean, you said
if they're in the multi-plan network.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've done a lot of research on that, in particular on the south side of Denver, and can tell you that it is very broad.
Okay, you're listening to Your Money Matters, brought to you by Affordable Interest Mortgage and Kurt Rogers. Our guest is Greg Lackey. He's with Design Health. Go to designhealth.com or give Greg a call, 303-625-9538. Dan Muir in for Scott Watley. We'll be right back.
Attorney Kevin Flesh has the experience and the knowledge to get more than an apology from those responsible for serious accidents. Sometimes saying, "I'm sorry," is enough.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
But after a serious accident, "I'm sorry" just won't do.
Oops. Sorry about that. My bad.
When you've been in an accident and sorry just won't do, you need representation on your side that will get the job done. Call attorney Kevin Flesh at 303-806-8886. That's Kevin Flesh of Flesh Law at 303-806-8886 for a free consultation to find out if he can help you to get the compensation that you deserve.
Affordable Interest Mortgage still has rates in the mid-3s. Do that upgrade that you've been putting off, or pay off that high interest rate debt, or just get ready for the holidays. Purchase your next home with only 2% down and no mortgage insurance. Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. We all know rates are going to go up, so why keep putting it off when you can borrow money in the 3s? Do you know paying mortgage insurance is like adding 1.5% to your current rate without the tax deduction? Why? Take AIM, 720-895-0500. Call now and find out how to pay off your home faster, save over $100,000 in excess interest that you get to keep, all without changing one penny of your spending habits. Take AIM, 720-895-0500. VA loans to 100% with cash out in the low 3s. We've been serving Colorado since 2001. Where it's all about you is not just our motto, it's who we are. Get the respect you deserve. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. NMLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender.
Hi, this is Scott Watley. Let me tell you what I love about Stack Optical. They are truly one of the last optician-owned, family-owned optical stores. At Stack Optical, you can be confident you'll receive personal attention. For over 50 years, Alan Stack has shown he really cares about making his customers happy. Stack Optical also has a beautiful new location at 2233 South Monaco Parkway in Denver. Free and easy up-close parking. Stack Optical has an on-site eyeglass production lab. Whether you need office eyewear or a new set of shooting or golf glasses, Stack Optical has the solution with the Stack Sport Pack. Give them a call today and ask for their $69 eye exam, 303-321-1578. That's 303-321-1578. Your eyes and vision are one of the most important things in life. I'm confident at Stack Optical, you'll see the difference. That's 303-321-1578, stackoptical.com.
If you're looking for great deals on outdoor equipment and clothing, we've got you covered. Hi, this is Bill Paddock, owner of the Outdoorsman's Attic, your outdoor gear consignment headquarters. You'll save 20, 30, 40, even 50% on previously owned outdoor gear for the fisherman, hunter, and camper. We also sell live bait, firearms, and ammo. If you're doing a little spring cleaning, bring in your gear to the Outdoorsman's Attic. We'll sell it for you and put cash in your pocket. You can also pick up your hunting and fishing licenses right here at the store. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor gear needs is the Outdoorsman's Attic, located at 2650 West Hampton Avenue in Sheridan, Colorado. 303-781-3626. That's 303-781-3626. Or visit us online at outdoorsmansattic.com. Mention Sportsman's of Colorado and receive 20% off all your outdoor clothing.
It's closeout time at Linlau Chevrolet. Right now, we have new Chevy Cruisers starting at just $13,900, or a new Chevy Silverado for up to $12,000 off MSRP. We have the lowest overhead, we have the lowest prices, and the best selection. Linlau Chevrolet, I-225 in East Colfax, or on the web at linlauchevy.com.
Rush to Reason with John Rush. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KLZ 560.
Alrighty, welcome back to Haystack Health Radio. Your Money Matters, brought to you by Kurt Rogers and Affordable Interest Mortgage. Go to aimortgage.net or 720-895-0500. And we're talking about Obamacare, healthcare, Trump's executive orders. We've talked a little bit about MediShare and some of the options that they, that are coming back out. Now they've also, Trump's also through his executive order allowing associations now to buy health insurance plans together, which I think is a huge thing. But what do you guys want to wrap up with? We only got a few minutes left.
What I was going to say is this. I think, when you talk about sabotage in the ACA, you take MediShare, you take short-term plans, that's going to peel off the healthy risk. In other words, the healthy risk is going to go into those plans because they don't use the insurance. And the premiums are going to be so much more affordable.
Hasn't a lot of the healthy risk left anyway?
So, they have, but the fear for the ACA and, Michael Bennett in his article, which I know we're going to talk about his response in the Denver Post on Sunday, is that the ACA is going to get left with all the unhealthy at some point.
Well, the whole thing's backfired. When this thing was originally designed, it was designed that the younger ones, the ones from 20 to 35, the ones that didn't have, they would pay their small portion, and they would never use it because they were healthy, and then that would help to subsidize the ones that were unhealthy. They all figured out it's cheaper to pay the penalty and the tax liability than it is to pay for the health care, and they didn't care.
It's kind of like the market finding a way.
That's right, they did.
And there's a lot of ways around paying that penalty, too. You don't even have to pay that penalty.
Well, one of the other things that's going to be a challenge is that if you're over 8.13%, in other words, your income versus what the premium of a bronze plan is, you're exempt there. You don't have to buy insurance. And because the cost of these policies are getting so high, 8.13 is going to be pretty easy to obtain.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah.
Now, and I want to talk about both Kaufman and Bennett had responses to what Trump's done. Let's first talk about Kaufman's. What do you think about what he talked about in his response and his idea as to what Trump is doing to healthcare?
Well, again, it's hard for me to take the Republicans serious.
Yeah, isn't that a fact?
Yeah. Sorry, but it is.
I mean, that's where this whole thing, again, I lose the political side of me because I'm like, look, you guys have had a chance. You still got a chance. But I don't see anything being proposed because anytime someone starts bringing up Medicaid, everyone runs because they're fearful of, well, you don't care about the unfortunate. That's not true. They all care.
Yeah, but when you're talking about taking healthy people out of the markets, look at all the healthy people that Medicaid has taken out of the markets. Because just because you're poor doesn't mean you're unhealthy.
Yeah, the big thing in Kaufman's article was he was really trying to, as a reader, help you understand Medicaid, and Medicaid was, actually made available for the disabled, children, the elderly.
Right.
It wasn't put in place for able-bodied people.
Right.
And what he is saying is that there, maybe you take that segment and you move them back into buying an Affordable Care Act plan. You're going to subsidize it. But again, I get back to the subsidies, and if you don't allow insurance companies to do what they're set up to do, I mean, how much money are you going to continue to throw at this?
How many middle-class to lower-middle-class families have their children on Medicaid?
Yeah. Well,
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, CHIP is a huge...
Yeah, I mean, you can just throw your kids on there. So that's taking healthy people out of the pool. You're not paying for them now. You pay your, $100 or $200 a year, throw the kids on Medicaid, and you're done with it.
Yeah.
It's now in retrospect, Bennett's, and I've read through Bennett's.
Sorry.
From your experience, explain to me how you see Bennett's response.
Talking points. Just talking points. He starts off by saying, proposals gave tax cuts to the wealthy.
Again, anytime the
it gets
Republicans
back
mention anything, it's always the case.
It's always going back to the wealthy, and I always ask, do the wealthy actually pay tax, or do they pass through in their business what that tax increase might be? So, that's a whole different thing. But he goes on to say, Trump decided to weaken the ACA through sabotage. He blocked efforts to enroll more Americans on the health care exchanges. What he's saying there is he didn't make funding available for advertisement, to advertise at the open enrollment periods from November 1 to December 15th. Well, my response to that is, we've been doing this for 4 years now. I mean, if you have any interest in health insurance, don't you think you would find out on your own? Yeah. But again, it's always that, well, government has the answer. That's really right. His response. And again, they always, he likes to say that the individual market only represents 6% of people insured. Mr. Bennett, look at the number of businesses that now no longer offer a group health plan as a result of the cost.
Right.
That number is increasing at an alarming rate.
Or they're putting people on part-time so they don't have to.
So
exactly right.
So where are those people going? I think you kind of unaccounted for them. That the number of businesses no longer offering health insurance, small businesses, is increasing.
Mm-hmm.
It's increased drastically since 2014. So
they have a funny way of manipulating the numbers. When you're talking about, you see for the first time in our history, over 50% of the people that are working part-time. And that started with Obamacare.
Absolutely.
That number moved from somewhere in the 40s to above 50% because the small businesses and business owners realized, I don't have to pay for the insurance if you're on the part-time. It's only for full-time employees.
Right, you just keep them under 30 hours a week.
That's right.
One of the things that I found interesting, too, in the last few days is tax reform. And they're talking about, they're all fearful of the 401ks. Okay. Well, here's my question to someone on that. It appears to me that the legislation and everything that they're attempting to do is to move us to a one-payer system. So if you've been putting money into a 401k, it's my understanding that a 401k, you get taxed on the back end. So do you want taxed on the seed or do you want taxed on the harvest?
Tax me on the seed, please.
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 Okay. So now let's understand that a little bit deeper. If in 10 years we move to a one-payer system, what do you think your tax rate's going to look like?
Holy cow.
Where do you think that money's going to come from?
60 to 70%.
Where do you think these people are leading you?
Well, it's just the rich will pay for it.
Exactly. We'll go back to the talking points.
That's not, right. That's a lie. That's a lie. Kurt, you got to say something.
Actually, I really don't. This time we didn't talk about mortgages, so we're good to go.
All right.
Greg, thank you again very much.
Yeah, Greg. So, Greg, it's once again, it's Greg Lackey. He's with Accelerated Insurance Group or Design Health, 303-625-9538. Kurt, thank you. And I'm Dan Muir in for Scott Watley. Stay tuned for Rush to Reason at 3 o'clock. We'll see you then.
The views and opinions expressed on KLZ 560 are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Crawford Broadcasting, the station, management, employees, associates, or advertisers. KLZ 560 is a Crawford Broadcasting God and Country station.